Dr. Ramakrishna, and my colleagues from NML as well as from Tata Steel and the other faculty members of NIT Jamshedpur and the students and the participants. Very good morning to all of you, and thank you very much, because at least they didn't say my biodata through and through, because I am now, I think, more than 25 years, so that itself will take a long time in introducing me here itself. So I think this AMTIC 2024, which is the fourth in that edition, I think it's the right time to have those in respect to the current national perspective. When we are students, as a undergraduate metallurgical students, I think this mineral processing was not so being covered. So we are already mostly related to the physical or the mechanical metallurgy, or mostly in the steel making, but not related to those mineral processing. We are only shown that this is a cyclone converter and of course the theory and all these things, but never did any experiment. At least once I joined NML, I found those large scale equipments which are prevalent in our lab, and it is still working in the lab. Now the topic is very relevant because now India is claiming to be the top leader in the steel productions. So when you talk about the steel productions, obviously it requires the iron ore. So if I consume all the high grade iron ores, so then there's the requirement that what the low grade iron ores. But how to process all those things? Because the moment it's a low grade iron ore, the efficacy of the process that gets changed. So to take care of those process, we need to do this initial raw material, and to check the initial raw material, I think other than mineral processing, there is no other technique. So it is the mineral processing which can lead to those upgrade those your low grade iron ores, because they can in that process you can eliminate what are the undesired things, and the concentration of the iron ore or the iron oxide which is there in that ore gets enhanced, and that's why nowadays you can go to around 60-62% at least. Then the next stage is the coal. So when we are increasing your iron steel production, so obviously iron is another thing, and without coal, it's not the coal, it's the coke which we use it. But unless and until we have the coal, we cannot get the coke, because the coal to coke, we basically volatilize those gang materials, or what are the different kinds of other elements, so that doesn't go to the steel and pollute the steel, or rather than those undesirable for the steel making itself, those are not required for those things. So I think this iron and coal mineral processing today is very vital. One, from the national perspective of the government, that we require to have nearly about 300 million ton by another 10 or 15 years with the world leaders for those things. Another one is for our own existence, that is which our Deputy Director already mentioned, the global climate change. We cannot close the blast furnace because it is required for our livelihood. So many people are working, so they're getting their salary and all these things. So we can't close down the blast furnace. If we close down the blast furnace, that whole chunk of Indian population, they don't have any money, and that's really catastrophic for our economy.